D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished She-Hulk, the penultimate episode of She-Hulk, and this show can suck it, and here's why. What a complete waste of Daredevil. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the action sequences, like his fighting and stuff, was good, but I mean, such a waste. I mean, it was so like in and out that I'm just like, this is what we waited for, you know? And Daredevil was like definitely the highlight of this episode. But we are at the penultimate episode and we don't even know who the bad guy is. I mean, it's King Hulk, which is Todd. It's just Todd. But I just go, are you serious? Like, you literally have done nothing to show us what's going down. And apologies, I just need some caffeine to try to not be annoyed with this episode, because it's just, I don't know why this show would do all of this nonsense. I mean, there's no world building, there's no storytelling. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Jessica Gao better not get another fucking job off this after this. I mean, you know, we hit with like for instance, in this one part, they talk about how the Sokovia Accords has been like abolished or whatever, or they like phased it out or whatnot, and I'm like, why? Like it's just it's like they take everything from the past and they just like completely just get rid of it just because, you know, reasons. It's just really obnoxious. The show sucks. It really does. It really sucks. And you know what? They could have made it really good, especially bringing in Matt Murdock as Daredevil, which I'll talk about when we get to it. But having him in there and them in court together battling against each other, totally comic books accurate. They've been in court against each other before. And I'm like, that's great. They could have set up this whole show to be a legal drama, but comedy, because they're all like, oh, it's kind of like Ally McBeal. But I'll tell you right now, when I watched, like everybody now is all like, do you remember Ally McBeal being that funny? And I'm like, no, but you know what I do remember? People not shitting all over Ally McBeal like they do She-Hulk. Why? Because it was very well written. There's a difference, fuckface. Ally McBeal was well written, even if you don't remember how funny it was, although I do remember some funny stuff in there. I'm not going to go into it. It doesn't matter. But Ally McBeal, I never remember anybody after an episode of Ally McBeal just crapping all over it. Now, granted, we didn't have the internet like that. We do. Well, I don't think we had the internet at all back then. Yeah. Anyways, I don't remember. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, if you asked me to tell you bad things about Ally McBeal, I can't. I'm like, the acting was good, the writing was good. From what I remember, I was a little bit younger. All right, a lot of bit younger. All right, okay. I'm sorry, I'm old, or like as I like to say, I'm a classic. You know. Okay, so I am gonna get into this breakdown, you guys. But before I do, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm. Yeah, they are. And small channels like mine, we're just like getting kicked to the back of the line, like hardcore. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. So now that we've got that out of the way, the business, let's get down to this episode. So it starts off, it's got this, it's like a flashback kind of thing, but it's a story being told. And it's about this convenience store, and these guys are stealing TVs, and then this thing pops up on the hood of their car, or the roof of their car, and I thought it was Daredevil, but nope, it's Frogman. But he doesn't call himself Frogman, he calls himself Frog Guy. I don't remember now. And he's like leaping around. Now this character is from the comic books, Frogman. There he is right there. This one, he's got the springs, but I've never read a comic book with this character in it. If I have, I do not remember, and that's fine because this character is ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, whatever. This character does not. I don't care either way. So that's him right there. So he's talking about how he did so great and everything, but really he just messed up. And these guys were beating the crap out of him, but then he used his rocket boots and his famous tagline. And then he goes up into the air, but they malfunction and he falls and hurts himself. He burns his legs or whatnot. So then she's all like, I think that you are due for some compensation for malpractice and, warranty and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I need some caffeine to get pumped for this. I want to get pumped, but I can't get pumped because the show sucks. So he's happy about it. But it's against... what's his name? I liked the designer guy. I don't remember, but I like this character. I like my sassy gays, So she goes to her boss and she's like, I can't do this because there's a conflict of interest because he makes my clothes and I really like my clothes. And I'm all like, okay, get over yourself. This outfit she's wearing right now is not that great. Let's just be honest. His work is impeccable, but it looks pretty dull to me. So he's all like, you signed a waiver for conflict of interest before with Abomination. You can do it again. And so he's all like, just go, because you have a relationship with him. Go to him and be like, hey, let's settle out of court. So she's like, okay. And so she goes and he's like, your gown is not going to be done for the gala. I can't remember how long he says, but he says a couple of days, maybe. I don't know. But she's all like, I'm not here for that. And he's basically like, my work is impeccable. This is ridiculous kind of thing. And he's like, I'm not going to do this. And I'm not making your gown. You're blacklisted. And she's like, I'm going to take every dollar, punk. So they're in court. I love how he's staring her down. I don't know who this actor is. I didn't look it up and everything, but I like him, especially in this character. Like I said, I love my sassy. And I like how confident he is. Like, I'm awesome. And my stuff, speaks for itself. So this guy's probably doodling because, he's a man and, men in this show are dumb unless they're Daredevil. So his lawyer is late. So Matt Murdock shows up and I'm like, great. This is great. Now, this is, like I said before, this is totally in the comic books. This is a cover or whatnot. But Matt Murdock and She-Hulk have went up against each other legally. Like, this is also from the comic book. The art on this is gross. In the comic book, I did not like this art. I just want to throw that out there. It's very wordy in this picture that I pulled up, but I never liked this art in the comic book, but the writing wasn't bad. It's by I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's the only thing at Marvel that he's ever written that I liked. Everything else sucks. I keep wanting to say Paul Dano, but it's not Paul Dano because that's a completely different person. It doesn't matter. Anyways, if I think about it, I'll just scream it out. So they have gone up against each other in court in the comic book. So I'm like, no, this is great. And they should have done this half the season working on one case, half the season working on another case, or each 3 episodes was a different case. And then you had 3 cases and, one of them could be her going up against Matt Murdock, but they didn't do that because they're dumb. So he comes in and he's all like, she wants a list of all of his clients so she can go talk to him and everything, but we don't want that. And this is where they mentioned the Sokovia Accords don't exist anymore. And I'm all like, what? And I'm all like, then, well, it's like, anyways. So he's all like, I would like this to get thrown out, her getting this evidence, because not all superheroes like her, their identities are revealed and they need anonymity and to protect themselves and the ones that they love. And she wants it so she can go see if anybody else has had malfunctions in their outfit. And so he like, while this is all going on, the judge is listening and everything, but then he pulls up his boot and Matt Murdock, having his senses heightened, besides his eyes because he's blind, he smells and he's like, what kind of fuel did you use? And he's all like, I used jet fuel. And then the designer guy's like, you idiot, you did not listen to my instructions and everything. And the judge is all like, did you purposely not listen to his instructions on the manual, dum-dum? And so long story short, it gets thrown out. Sorry, there's something in my eye. And she's all like, you're dumb and everything. And she's like, hey, is it cool? We can be friends now since it's all over with. If you could just make my gown. He's like, oh, Jen, I hate you. I was like, oh, gosh, I love my sassy gays. I love it. So then she's at the bar and she gets an appletini from Matt Murdock. And I'll tell you right now, appletinis, I don't care what you say, they are freaking delicious. They taste like candy. So freaking good. You know, that's the thing about alcohol. I can't have the fruity drinks that taste like candy because I will literally I would have downed that like a shot. I'd be like, oh, I was like, this is good. Another. Yeah, they're delicious. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, they got to be like, you got to like give me something like vodka straight up for me to like sip it. Like, it's good, but it's so strong. So as he comes over and they have a conversation and they're like flirting, it's super cute and everything. I don't know if I can't remember if they like, you know, dated or anything. She has had a fling with some other superheroes. She smashed Juggernaut. Go her. Go Juggernaut. And then she also, I think Wolverine was one of them too. Don't quote me on that because I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't know all her sexual partners. Okay, so back off. And he's all like, you know, you can do some good, you know, Jen, yada yada yada. And she's all like, you know, what are you doing here in California? You're from New York. And he's all like, you know, you do one for them, you do one for you, do one for them. And he's all like, and that is a saying, you know, it's like in filmmakers, like that you make a big blockbuster movie so then you can do your indie film. What's his face? Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. He's a good example of that. He does an Avengers movie or Iron Man, then he goes and does some crappy indie movie. I mean, all like the violin movie, and then what are the Judge, and then like what was that one with the Dr. Dolittle. He does all these crappy movies, Dr. Dolittle isn't like an indie movie, but he would do a big Avengers movie and then he'd do one for him, and the one for him was always horrible. It was always shit. Anyways, so he's talking about how his firm in New York, Hell's Kitchen, does pro bono work, but he has to do one for them, aka a big budget a big client that will pay him a lot of money because the bills stack up, which totally makes sense. So then he gets a call, and then she gets a text from Todd, who is the bad guy. He's King Hulk, which I'm just like, what? This total pussy who I could take. Listen, I'm 5 foot nothing. I'm 5'4", 100 pounds of nothing. I could take Todd. I'll tell you that right now. I'd be like, guns. He can even bring his Wakanda spear, which we'll talk about in a minute. He can bring that shit, and I would take him so hard. Anyways, that sounded naughty. Anyways, that didn't come out right. Anyways, so it says, I have a legal issue I would like to discuss immediately. 8 p.m. at Hoof and Fear. He's like, I gotta go. And she's like, it's cool. She gets another text and she's like, I was assured that JLNKINH was a 24/7 firm. I can call Holloway and ask if that's inaccurate. She's like, crap. So she shows up and he's all like, he's talking about how he bought a Wakandan spear at a bid for $1 million. Good for you. That scarf is atrocious. Who dressed him? What is that? Anyways. And they want it back, you know, because, you know, colonizers and shit. And I'm all like, it's paid and bought for, honey. Sorry, it's mine now. And he goes, Wakanda forever. And she's like, I'm not comfortable with that right now. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I can say Wakanda forever too. Okay. Side note, my 4-year-old, he loves Black Panther. He tells me all the time he's a son of Wakanda. He's like, when we play superheroes and stuff, he'll be like, I want to be Black Panther. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, and then he'll be like, I'm a son of Wakanda. And I'm all like, and then he's like, you can be a son of Wakanda too. And I was like, well, then how are we going to fight, dude? I need to be somebody else. I need to be like the bad guy. So, although I always win. So then he's like, he gets all close and he's all like, what are we going to do about this tension, this sexual tension? He doesn't say that. I made that up. Anyways, she's like, oh, no. I just want to say, notice the wine. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a nice Bordeaux or whatever. But then she's like, no. And then she scooches the table and spills the wine. She should be put down for this. I'm sorry. You don't spill a lovely... Oh, and she spilled the bottle too. She's a monster. in every sense of the word. Oh, I bet you it was delicious too. I bet you it was so good. And he's like, and she's like, I'm charging you for the full hour. And he's like, what? So then she goes home and she's like, oh, I had a bad day. And I'm all like, you did. Has she won a case yet? Oh, yeah, the Megan, yeah, the Megan the Stallion one. But I'm just like, man, Jen's not a great lawyer in this. Anyway, so she gets a call from Eugene Frogman, and he's all like, there's a dude chasing after me and everything. And she's like, you're close to me. I'll come. We'll meet halfway because he's going to go to the leap pad. So they meet at this garage where she wrecks his car, and she Daredevil, and she's all like, "Hey, buddy, I'm gonna kick your ass," and he's like, "My ass is unkicked." And they do this little thing. She picks up this rando's car and throws it at him, and I'm like, Jen, you have to pay for that now. Can't be throwing people's cars. She does her little clap and knocks him down, and then she unmasks him, and she sees that it's Matt Murdock. And she's all like, are those your colors? All this stuff. Long story short, he's all like, he kidnapped the designer guy. I don't remember his name. I wish I did, but I don't. He kidnapped the designer guy. So I need to go rescue him. He's the bad guy. Frogman's the bad guy. I think he is a bad guy in the comic books. I don't know. I haven't read anything with him in it. And if I have, I don't remember. I think he's fought Spider-Man before. But anyways, okay. So they go to the lily pad. And she's like, oh, he meant it literally. So this is his thing, and he's got his henchmen, and he's all like, whoever told you could wear this green is awful or some crap. And he's like, hey, words hurt. And I'm like, oh, get over yourself. So she's like, I'm going to go in and just take them all down. Oh, they're talking about goons and henchmen. She's like, oh, he's got a lot of henchmen in here. And he's like, they're goons. And she's like, what's the difference? He's like, goons are in it for the money. Henchmen are in it for they believe in the cause. I was like, that's good. I like that. Whoever wrote that line, it wasn't Jessica Gao. I can tell you that right now. She's not that clever. And then she's like, well, why would I sit here and let you pick them off one by one when I can just go and take them all out in one fell swoop? And he's like, that's not how math works. He's like, why don't you stay here? Let me go in. Stealth is the way to do this, not smash and grab kind of thing. And he's all like, let me show you how it's done. Step aside, honey. Sit down. And he's correct. He is correct. And he jumps off the roof and he goes in here. And this guy's talking about how like he's all like he wanted to call us tadpoles and stuff. And I'm like, that's funny, tadpoles. Sorry, I sucked in some saliva there. And so he takes these dudes out. And this was cool because he uses his little thing where he like whips it and it comes back. And I was like, that was pretty cool. And then so he's about to take on these dudes, and then She-Hulk comes in from the roof, and she's like, She-Hulk smash. And then they go in here and they take out all these goons. You can't really like grab stills of and she's all like, listen, he's like, I thought you were on mine. She's like, legally, you need to stop doing this because you're getting yourself into more trouble, my dude. She's like, you can plead insanity. And he's like, actually, that would work at this point. He's like, are you a lawyer? And he's like, no, I just like to watch legal dramas. So he's like, there's nothing wrong with retreating. And he jumps out the window and breaks his leg. So he's being taken away. He's all like, I guess we're even Steven now. And she's like, so you're gonna design my ball gown for the gala? And he's like, of course, I'm not a monster. And he's like, don't get bloated in the meantime. And I was like, that's funny. And she's like, so then they set up here, and she's like, when do you go back to New York? And he's like, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow or some crap like that. And he's all like, next time I'm in California, maybe we can go on a date. Or take her out to dinner. And she's like, or maybe we could just skip that and make a hormone sandwich. So they do the hibbity dibbity. Good for them. He's doing the walk of the shame in his Daredevil outfit. And then she comes out. She comes out and she's like, I feel like this is where the episode should end because we had a good ending there. That's a good place to end it. And I was like, it is a good place to end it. You should. But they don't because they're dumb. She's like, and then her friend pops up and she's like, oh, and she's all like, she's like, oh, you slept with the devil. And she's like, oh, is the gala tonight? Oh, this is the thing where that twist happens. And I'm like, yeah, the twisty twist. Cause she's like, the season finale's next week. And I'm all like, I don't mind the fourth wall breaking. It's just if they did it in a better, cleverer way, in my opinion, then I wouldn't be so mad. She comes out and does this. And this is obviously a Wolverine reference. So she gets out and she's in her dress. And let me just tell you right now, this dress is not that great. It's not that great. I mean, yeah, it's not that great. So that designer guy, maybe can expand. Ooh, but it's ugly. She looks like a freaking disco ball. Anyways, so her parents are there. They're so proud of her. Her boss is there with Todd. Ugh. Todd's gross. And the bad guy, he's Hulk King. Oh, it's so annoying that he's Hulk King. I'm telling you right now, I could have came up with a better show than this. I know I could. I could just come up with the idea and just be like, right away. So then she gets called up on stage with all these other lawyers for female lawyer of the year. But I'm all like, how shouldn't that just be down to one? And he's all like, what is so great about being a female lawyer? And this woman's all like, just the honor and privilege of practicing law. And then what's her face is all like, working double the hours for less pay, being asked what's it like to be a female lawyer. And I'm like, oh, get the fuck out of here. And she probably makes a lot more than Pug. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, because when she did that, the other all like, what is this? What is that? What is that? Stop. Just clap like a normal fucking human being. Anyways, so she's like, I want to take this time to thank my parents, and her parents are there and they're recording, which is super nice and everything, and my friends. And then this comes over the screen, and it's basically it's Hulk King, his little avatar, and he's all like, She-Hulk is this is the real She-Hulk. She's a slut and everything. And it shows this video of her banging Josh. And I just want to say, and she's embarrassed and it's spinning, and I totally get it. And she's all like, don't do it, Jim. And she sees herself, smashing, not really smashing, but whatever. Those are ugly shorts. But I just want to say, I understand where she's coming from in this scene, because that is very inappropriate. That's not cool. I mean, she has a right to not be filmed sexually and then have that blasted on the internet. So I understand. Then her smashing the TVs, I didn't blame her for that, because I would want it. I'd be like, turn it off, or I'm going to turn it off, fuckers. So she smashes it. But then like these red lights start going off. I was like, this is a lot for just her smashing some TV. Like, so a table collapses. I'm all like, I don't think that's how tables work, but whatever. So then she sees some dudes in some masks recording her, and they run because, she's all like, Rage Hulk. She smashes through and grabs one, and then the one guy's from like Ms. Marvel with the sonic guns, they're like pointing on, they're like, freeze and everything. And she's looking at the camera. She's like, crap, I messed up. And she's doing the I'm all like, shit, it's that time of the month, I guess. And that's where the episode ends. And that was the twisty twist. She gets pissed because she doesn't want people to see her sex tape. Her unwanted sex tape. I don't know what the right word is that I'm thinking for. She did not give the okay for him to record their little rendezvous, their little hormone sandwich. And I don't agree with that. Don't be recording people your sexy time without their permission. I don't even think that's legal. I think that's illegal. Anyways, maybe it is in some states, or is not illegal in some states. I don't know. I don't know laws and stuff like that. I don't read up on them. Plus, I'm not recording me and my partners and our sexual exploits. Anyways, but yeah, this episode was like the Daredevil fighting was good. I liked that. But a good episode that does not make. The episode, the show, there's no way they're going to pull it out. There's no way. And I will do a season 1 review because I have thoughts. Yeah, tell me what you guys thought about this episode, because I'm just like, what is going on here? This is just straight up narts and bonkers, and I don't understand. Like, and if you like this show, tell me why you like it. I like, and I'm not saying that you're like bad for liking. If you like this show, like it, like what you like. In fact, I love that you like it. I just personally do not like it. So that's and the thing is, I wanted to like this show because the comic book is Dan Slott. That's his name. Yay, I thought of it. because the comic books are not that bad. They're really not. I mean, they're not like, they're not going to win any awards in my opinion, but they're not that bad. And it just makes me feel bad because it says when it's a female-led show with female writers, it's like it can't succeed because they don't know how to get out of their own way and write a good show, write a hero's story, write a hero's journey, all that stuff. They'll write a joke and then they'll write an episode around one joke, and it's not even a good joke. So the show sucks. It's bad. It's really not good. It's really not good. And I wish do better, Marvel, do better, Jessica Gao. Yeah, all right. That's my story. Yeah, that's my story. And my breakdown. Tell me what you guys think about this. Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? How did you feel about the penultimate episode? How did you feel about Daredevil being in this episode? And are you looking forward to his series? Who's your favorite character on the show? Whatever you want to tell me. Yell at me if you want. I don't care. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I won't mind if you my channel. Please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my breakdown and review of the She-Hulk finale. You guys have a good week. She-Hulk smash. Bye.